All righty, let me summarize where we're at. And then if you want to come down my road, feel free. Because to me, it's pretty... I think most people, when I tell them where I'm coming from, would be like, okay, I get that. Yes, that's what I think.
What scoreboard? You're not using Nielsen. I mean, what are you basing that on?
I'll tell you exactly what I'm basing that on. They started the season with Trey Lance.
Gotcha.
1 AA. Didn't even quarterback last year. Didn't quarterback during COVID. By far the most raw quarterback of the 5 that were taken up high in the draft. The idea that Trey Lance was going to guide the 49ers to a Super Bowl in his first year as a starter, I thought was preposterous.
All right.
And I said, they have no chance. They're not going to win the Super Bowl with Trey Lance. He gets hurt. Now here comes Jimmy Garoppolo. Well, they can win the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo, I think.
I said Super Bowl or bust.
Okay.
You did.
So now Garoppolo wins 4 or 5 straight. Now he gets hurt. Okay, guess what? We got trouble. We got big trouble because now we got to go to a third-string quarterback, Brock Purdy.
Done.
Yes, we're done.
Yep.
We cannot win with a third-string quarterback. Now he's played 2 weeks. And it's like, you know what? He's been pretty good. And then you start to think about Kyle and the quarterback situation. And you realize that the reality of the situation is, you know what? Right here, right now, Brock Purdy is better than Trey Lance. He's better because he had 50 college games under his belt. So after I've now seen Brock Purdy show poise as a quarterback, and I start thinking about Trey Lance and Garoppolo, his strengths and weaknesses. You know, Garoppolo's kind of a middle-of-the-pack quarterback. When he's good, he's like 12. When he's not good, he's 18. Okay, well, Brock Purdy, well, maybe he can be 12 to 18. So guess what? I come in this morning and say, this team can win it all. This team can win it all.
But
And everybody now is like, don't put that pressure on. Oh, no, don't do that. Why not? Is all I'm saying. Why not?
Yeah,
why can't they win a Super Bowl?
Well, that's why everybody's excited.
Right.
The reason we thought they couldn't may not be the reason. And
why did we think they couldn't?
Because you're on your third-string quarterback, and normally, Steiny, those guys, they're third stringers because they can't get it done.
Normally.
Right. But my question to you after a win is, don't you understand you may be Gilligan? You're on an island all by yourself.
How?
In the sense that you're focused on the origin when this party's still going. Like, everybody doesn't give who cares almost? Like, you're right when the dust settles, but right now it's, can this team win it?
That's right.
And through 7 quarters, you and I both believe, like, they got action.
I don't know what you're saying. Like, I came in saying, I've seen Brock Purdy play 2 games.
Well, it sounds like house money triggered you.
It did. It did, because
but house
money is what a long shot says.
Oh, well,
they're not a long shot. They're not a long shot. They're not a long shot. The expectations right now haven't changed. Let's win the Super Bowl. It doesn't mean if they don't win the Super Bowl, Shanahan should be fired.
Right.
But if they don't win the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy, to me, it's every bit as disappointing as not winning it without Garoppolo or not winning it with Trey Lance.
Yeah, but this ain't this ain't Montana to Young. This
was.
This is. You're right. But normally, you just ask, why can't they win it? Because we're on the third-string quarterback. That's the label. That's the term.
But we already know that's a joke. It's a joke.
Do we?
He hasn't played like a third-string quarterback in the 2 games we saw him.
But when you talk like that, you're taking credit from Brock. Forget Kyle. You're taking it sounds like me, Steiny. You're taking credit away from Brock. And you know what Brock had to do? He had to stay ready. He had to study. He had to wait his turn. And I would have bet my right arm
anything away
he would have never.
I came in here today saying they can win a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy. So I'm not taking anything away from Brock.
But when you say he's better than the third, you're taking away from the story. The story is
he better than Trey Lance?
I'm not ready to say that.
Okay.
Steiny, we've seen 2 games.
Please.
A game and we've seen 5 quarters of Trey.
He's better than Trey Lance because he played 50 college games. Period.
Well, you probably ain't by yourself with that, but I ain't ready to say that. Then what? Then why did Kyle start Trey?
Because he invested in him.
No, that is bigger than that. What did you see to invest in?
Well, that ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. All right, what he saw in him, I don't know.
He never had
Maybe
to answer.
we will still see what he sees in him. Maybe Trey Lance may be great in 2 or 3 years. I'm not writing Trey Lance off. But right now, or at least week 1 this year, yeah, you were going to wait. Yeah, okay, you were going to win a Super Bowl with Trey Lance. Okay, all right.
Well, you remember the talk he had with the veterans.
Your chance just improved to win the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy.
That could be facts.
All right,
but it doesn't change in this story, though. Third string quarterback is the story, Steiny. Even though I know you think he's better than that, this is a thing because it's the third stringer.
Stop hating, Steiny.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just cash in.
There's a lot of that on the YouTube.
Let's just cash in this season.
Watch yourself.
San Bruno. Let's go to Mike. Shut up, Stephen A.
You better be careful.
Hey, fellas.
Hey,
what's up? Doing?
Hey,
P1 listener here. All day, every day, baby.
Thank you.
Hey, so I have a fat rat to put on the table. I'm talking master splinter rat, like.
Uh-oh.
Shanahan is the stubbornest stubbornest coach that we know of. He was willing to put Trey Lance into the situation where we would just roll the dice to see what happened, rather than to let things play out naturally. Like, Guru, you're a guy that likes style, right? You're a style guy. What happened right now?
You see me on YouTube right now?
Drebin. This is Frank Drebin. This is organized. This is like chaos that happened to go right. This is Naked Gun. This wasn't planned. You don't draft your 7th round, the Mr. Irrelevant, to actually play in the first year. Even if you put him on a roster, most people that are there, they don't belong. They're just going to be there, and they're usually, they travel from team to team. They don't stay on one team, start, and then have the success that they have, as well as pick up the playbook the way that Brock Purdy has. My point is this. Shanahan whiffed 120% on, or even more, on the draft pick, right? And all I know is that what Brock Purdy has, he has it. I don't know what it is, but I know what it looks like on the screen. He has it more than Trey Lance and Garoppolo combined.
Oh.
Why? Because he was able to take the playbook that he sort of moved around for Jimmy Garoppolo. Because let's remind ourselves, he had to adjust the playbook so that Jimmy could be able to not do turnovers or have Ono throws, right? So now he studied under Jimmy for 7, 8, 9 weeks and perfected it. And at least through 2 weeks, the system that Shanahan's put in place is working out.
And he gets credit for that. That's my whole point.
Nobody's
he gets credit for that.
Him credit for it.
We spent almost 2 hours saying, this is a Kyle Shanahan production. Nobody wants to hear how he got on the field, why he should have been on the field earlier. The bottom line is this dude I'm talking about Kyle, is on the track with a rookie quarterback to finally do something possibly that he's never done.
Okay.
There's no shade. Like this,
right? But clearly, the way the quarterback situation has played out and has left them with Brock Purdy right now.
Gotcha.
If they don't win it, you won't even sniff at Kyle Shanahan. Like, see, there's a difference. I just said to you, well, of course, if they win it all, Kyle gets credit. He becomes a Super Bowl winning quarterback as coach.
Gotcha.
He got a Brock Purdy. He gets all that. But you're doing the opposite and saying all the pressure's off Kyle now.
Ask me why, though, I'm doing that, Steiny.
It's all house money.
Ask me why.
If they lose 4 in a row under Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan cannot be criticized.
Ask me why I'm doing that.
Because
I'm not doing it on purpose.
This is what
you're
you do.
minimizing, and you're being selfish trying to take out the component of Brock Purdy being slotted the third-string quarterback. No, it don't matter by.
Yes, it does.
He's the third-string quarterback. You're throwing it out to make something that it's not.
And you continue to say third-string quarterback so as to protect Kyle
from what?
If and when
what
they
am I
don't
protecting
win
him
it.
from? No, not at all.
From expectations.
What I'm getting you
from
ready.
Expectations.
Johnny, I'm trying to prep you for the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy's the NFC Championship game.
Exactly.
If he gets them there.
Exactly. Would that have been enough for Garoppolo?
No, I would have been disappointed.
Okay, well, Brock Purdy looks like he's better than Garoppolo. See, that's what you're doing. You're taking all the pressure off Kyle Shanahan for the way he's handled this. And now Kyle Shanahan gets to say, well, you really didn't think we were going to win it with my third-string quarterback.
What would anybody get from that?
From what?
Protecting Kyle or taking the pressure off. I'm being real,
so
Steiny.
You can go back and say you called him a
with
genius.
third-string quarterbacks in damn near anything.
Is he a third-string quarterback?
Okay, that's how you feel?
He's not.
But on paper, he is.
No, he's actually not. He's a third-string quarterback in Kyle Shanahan's.
I can't win today.
He's a third-string quarterback.
I cannot win
in Kyle Shanahan's mind.
Boy,
just like
no. There's not one person on this earth that was pro Brock Purdy.
You're right.
Except Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch.
Okay. They were so high on him, they brought Jimmy Garoppolo back. That's how high they were on Brock Purdy. It's just like my whole thing is Brock Purdy just played an unbelievable game against Tampa Bay, and now we're coming in here today saying
they got action.
It's all no. Oh, house money. Oh man, they just got to win.
Hearing that, I hadn't heard the house money.
First damn thing I heard this morning. Yeah. I'm like, house money? They can win this thing.
Well, what if he ends up being your quarterback of the future?
Good.
And that erases for the Trey Lance. You ain't even got to go through that. What if they got their quarterback of the future and they lose in the second round of the playoffs? Could that be house money to where, we lost, we didn't get it done, but we got our quarterback of the future?
Who is it?
It could be Brock Purdy. I think that's what part of the excitement is. Because I just don't see a scenario. Well, Jimmy's gone, right, Steiny? He's got to be gone. But hey, I said that before. I'm just letting you know, Matt, you cannot change his label. Even if you tell me, hey, Goo, he was better than a third-string quarterback. That's what part of this story is.
And that's where you must, as someone who lives in the Bay Area, we're not national media who's looking at the Jets from 3,000 miles away.
Bay.
We are here in the Bay Area.
Got you.
So we know what Shanahan has done with the quarterback situation and how he has handled it. So, yes, there are mitigating circumstances to this third-string quarterback. I mean, that's what a sports debate is. Well, he's a third-string quarterback. Yeah, he is, but let's not forget that he actually was better than Trey Lance. Let's be honest about that. He's better than Trey Lance, at least right now. So I don't understand how the 49ers win 35-7 against the Bucs, and we're not saying we can still win it all, man. This is now 2 weeks of Brock Purdy. He looks pretty damn good. We can win it all.
I think a lot of people feel that way. They just they don't want to tap into it and be heartbroken because, again, words today, conventional wisdom has it that this guy was Mr. Irrelevant for a reason, and there's going to be a team down the road that may show his warts.
That probably
he
will
threw
be.
An interception.
There
all
probably
of them do
will
yesterday.
be.
Got called back. That's
and then
fine.
What, is Kyle going to cut him? Because he hates quarterbacks?
No, he may be so good and showed you so much, Steiny, that there'll be a quarterback, what do you call it, competition.
So, and then let me
That's fascinating in itself. But right now.
Yeah, see, it's fascinating. What about it was botched? Would you say it was botched? If Brock Purdy starts quarterback next year, he beats out Trey Lance.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Hey,
now where are we?
You ain't going Bluto on me. Botched, we said before when Trey went down. And how he was. So we're past botched. Before Brock Purdy even entered the equation, we were past botched.
Joe, San Francisco. What's up, Joe?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on. I agree with you 100%, Steiny. I think you got it right on the button there, buddy. Brock Purdy should not have been the third string. And if you looked at Trey Lance's face yesterday, he saw his starting job kind of slipping away. Not to mention that you also have Brian Griese has been working with Brock Purdy the entire time behind the scenes as a quarterback's coach because he was working with Garoppolo as well. So you got to put all those things into the conversation of why he absorbed so much the way he did. In 4 years of college, he has more experience than Trey Lance. He's just a better quarterback, period. End of story.
Appreciate the call.
And I'll never argue that. I will step back and listen. If you tell me quarterback A played 50 college games, quarterback B, Trey Lance, was pretty much an unknown and played umpteen games. I get that. But that's not how this story jumped off. Kyle cut in line, traded up in the draft, and said, that right there is my Beyonce. That guy.
Yeah, but he wasn't. And he's not. He's not right now.
Okay.
Purdy's better than him. What's so hard to understand?
No, I'm not even mad at that. What I'm mad about is then you're saying he got a scholarship traded.
Duh. No, as Clay would say. You think he would have beaten out Garoppolo if they actually would have opened up the competition?
See, you say the duh, which was great. You say duh.
No duh.
Like somebody on this earth said that before training. Nobody was even talking about Brock Purdy. So you can't come back now after 7 quarters and say he was better than Trey.
He is.
But nobody was saying that until
both quarterbacks 7 quarters this year. Who looked better?
That's a landslide.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, but that's Monday. My point is, Steiny, he started Trey, and nobody was up in arms about Brock Purdy not getting the start.
Right. Because we didn't know that Trey Lance wasn't any good yet.
Well, that's strong. To say Trey is no good, Steiny, Kyle, that's botched. Come on now.
Please.
He ran him like a fullback.
Why?
I don't know.
Because he can't throw. That's why.
Then why'd he draft him?
Because he made a mistake. A big mistake.
But he better own up to it.
He doesn't have to own up to it if Brock Purdy wins a Super Bowl. See,
then what happens?
Then he's a Super Bowl champion coach, and nobody cares about Trey Lance.
Man.
Just like nobody cared about Barry Zito making $190 million when the Giants won in spite of him.
Wow, man.
Feels great, baby.
You're done. Let's go to Wichita, Kansas.
Wow. Shout out Dorothy.
There's no Dorothy over here.
That
should be sailed, like you like to say. Hey, man, so I just wanted to point out a couple of things. So far as Trey Lance is concerned and him starting the season, I think this was a reboot year to begin with. And if I'm not mistaken, we started with the weakened running game with Elijah Mitchell being out, and now we got CMC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, and that's not saying that I think Trey Lance is better, because from what I've seen out Brock Purdy the last couple of games, the dude is a natural. And you don't always get to see that, when you're scouting, until you get him put in the game. I mean, Montana was a third-round pick. Turns out he's the GOAT. Yeah, Brady, that's right. Montana's the GOAT, not you. And, I just don't think it's an apples-to-apples conversation, because what Trey Lance is bad at, Garoppolo's actually good at. And what Garoppolo's bad at, Trey Lance is good at. But what they're both bad at, Purdy looks like he's pretty good at. So it's optimism, man. It's just optimism. I'm sitting here in Wichita.
Exactly.
From my Niners, looking at him play.
Embrace it, baby.
Man, this dude looks legit.
Oh, majestic. Thanks. He looks majestic, Brock Purdy.
I love that word. That's what they used to say about my home runs on the softball field. What I'm saying, Steiny, is you sound like a hater. Let me tell you why.
Because
everybody's excited
dumbass
in
people out there.
Ninerville.
That's right.
And you're going to go back to the origin of the quarterback, Duck, Duck, Goose, which is valid. You know what? But now's not the time.
You know what, Goose?
Give me that. Just give me. I'm not saying that's what. There's a party going on, and you're on the phone like the Karen lady.
See, this is where you piss me off.
No, I'm just telling you the truth.
I came in today saying the 49ers can win the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy can win the Super Bowl. He's shown that he's in 7 quarters. Okay. He's shown that he can win a Super Bowl. How's that hating?
But what takes you to Lance? What takes you to Jimmy? That's what I'm saying. That's the part that shades.
Because you have to look at the quarterbacks. You just say, he's a third stringer. Well, let's really look at it. Can we? Can we really look at it? Because guess what? Trey Lance started the season at quarterback. You cannot tell me Brock Purdy is not as good as Trey Lance.
You're right.
Thank you.
But that's
Let's
a downer.
Just leave it there.
That's a downer.
It's a downer saying that Brock Purdy. See, you know what? I'm not playing that crap.
But you're doing crap now. And I don't get why you're trying to have an end-of-the-year discussion when a party's going on.
Do you not, like, seriously?
House money?
Do you not hear me?
What trigger is
that?
Do you not hear me? I've been listening to you for 2.5 hours. You're the only man talking about he botched. This dude's about to be bigger than he would have been if he won a Super Bowl with Jimmy. I'm just getting you prepped for that. Like in the hospital before surgery, you got the robe.
Take it somewhere else. Take it somewhere else. Because I just told you what I said. I said I saw Brock Purdy play the last 2 weeks. This team can win the Super Bowl. Plain and simple. Expectations should not have dropped or should drop after Jimmy Garoppolo.
Keep going.
Well, there it is.
No.
I'm a hater.
No,
that's a hater.
You turned down Trey Lance road. How long have we been on Trey Lance's road? I ain't saying you're wrong.
The best quarterback.
But you're fixated on the botch.
I'm not fixated on it.
It's a party. They just won. They got a chance to win it. You just said it. I'm just blown away. I'm sitting there looking at you like, wow, this is end of the year stuff that you are doing now.
What? Saying they can win the Super Bowl
it ain't
is end of the year stuff.
You have mentioned that.
You are
all
absolutely.
For 2.5 hours, you've been fixated on he ain't started. Who cares? He's on the cusp, probably, of getting it done.
Who?
And you want to spray a little perfume and say, oh, I said they could get it done. And then we spent 2.5 hours on the negative. That's all. And I'm not saying you're wrong. This ain't the time. They just got a chance with a third-string quarterback, and now you want to make the third stringer the first stringer. You don't get to do it that way. He's the third-string quarterback on paper. The world has reacted to a third-string quarterback playing good 7 quarters, but you want to fixate on Kyle and Trey Lance. I'm here for it.
Not at all.
I'm here for it, Steiny. I'm here for it.
You fell for the trap.
Yeah. There shouldn't be traps.
Listen, I get it. You're not going to criticize Kyle Shanahan no matter what happens.
Oh, that
because
hurts.
now they've got a third-string quarterback. That's where you're coming from. Anything they get with a third-string quarterback is gravy. We were not going to criticize Kyle Shanahan because he's already doing great with a third-string quarterback. And I'm just sitting here saying, you know what? I think they got just as good a chance now as they've had at any time during the season. How's that negative? I don't understand how it's negative when I come in here today and say, they can win it. If this is Brock Purdy, I said it last week, if this is Brock Purdy, they got action. Okay, well, it was Brock Purdy again. You know what? They shouldn't take a back seat to anybody. They should have Super Bowl aspirations just like they always have. I don't get it.
I don't think that's fair.
What isn't fair?
That you come in here and say a third-string quarterback all of a sudden is Joe Namath. So to fit your narrative, he's now no longer a third-string quarterback.
Okay.
And what's so fraudulent about that take is you never were pro Brock Purdy before the last 2 weeks, and that's fine.
That's right.
But don't come in here and say the story's minimized because he should have been second string. Come on, man. If that ain't the ultimate Monday morning quarterback, I don't know what is. And if I would have done that, you would have been like, come on, Goo.
Actually, it's not true. I went through it step by step. And I don't understand what's so hard to explain. I really don't. If you want to take Kyle Shanahan off the hook for everything that happens from this point on because they have a third-string quarterback, you can do that. And you know what? You'll have plenty of people on your side.
But that bothers you.
No, it's just a difference of opinion.
You said it. That's bothering you.
Well, yeah,
I'm the dude that said I didn't drawn up the divorce papers from Kyle. But now I can step back. Come on, third string, Steiny. He's third string regardless. That's your kryptonite. He's third string regardless if you think he's higher or not. That's what this story's about.
The story's about
I'm listening.
You want to hold on to this Kyle. Like, you're just, whatever. We know what's going on.